And me.
I can use a drink, too.
I say never turn down a free drink. How about you, Khalid? You still want to go home?
I'll join you guys too. One drink, one over.
Ah, great. Looks like the party just getting started. End of scene one.
Damn. Go on.
Scene two. Time, 2:30 a.m. Place, a bar. The 7 men have been drinking for hours. They are having an animated discussion. They are now speaking in rhyme.
We can do anything we want because we're black and because we're smart. While being slaves, they sure were rough and taught us how to act real tough.
Hey, that's right, I say. We'll set the rules, and if whites are pissed, then screw those fools.
Well, wait, my bro. About the whites. Why should we have to cause them fights?
To integrate is a fantasy, sheer literacy, and hypocrisy. Jim Crow was bad, we all agree. But acting white, it's just not me.
But a bro became the president, and he was cool like Mr. King.
Big deal, I said. That made things worse. Scared lots of whites and went reverse.
That's why we gotta act real nice and bring down walls and break the ice. Because if we don't, the whites will say, don't mark my words. We'll make you pay.
Yeah, but dig it, bro. We're all strung out, we're marginalized and have no clout. And furthermore, I think you'll agree, the whites want us to leave them be. We don't like them and they don't like us. We play their game, but still they fuss.
That's because they won't engage with blacks who they believe have rage.
Too bad for them, I must now say. They made their bed and now must pay.
Hey, you said? That's your reply? That's just job talk. You must be high.
So what do you do? What do you want us to do? Play Uncle Tom and be the fool?
Nah, dear bro. You twist my thought. We must reach out, yet not be bought.
Can their rules and reaching out, that's prissy stuff which brings no clout.
But if we don't play by the rules, then whites will treat us just like fools.
You talk as if we're down and beat. No need to fret. We own the street.
The street is good, but not so cool when only blacks are in that pool.
Perhaps you don't like being black. Is that the case? Why don't you pack?
I did not mean to act the pest. I love you guys, you're all the best.
I love you too, my dear good bro. Fraternal joy, which makes me glow.
I screw you, I say, and can that crap. You're drunk, you fool, so shut your trap.
Well, shut yours too, piece of rice. That bro was being kind and nice.
And once again, I have to say, screw you to all, that white man hang. We have to take it to the street where we are kings and call the beat.
The bro is right, and listen to this. By keeping the street, we will attain real bliss. For the street is more than just a place. It's a state of mind which defines our race.
Yeah, you're going nuts. Or even worse, the street is just an empty purse. It's just a place to live and die, where people work and grow inside.
No, dear bro, you're way off base. The people live in a real fine place that just needs a little sprucing up to make it shine like a fine gold cup.
Now listen here, you silly fool. You make it sound like the street's so cool. That's all we need, a pot of cash, to make street life first class bash.
What you said is really true. If we can't beat them, we'll join their crew. We play their game, outside and in, the goal of which will be to win.
Okay, my bro, I like your game, as long as whites do see that they must deal with black folks too, as human beings with rights to sue.
Well, we got tone or rhetoric down. Stop acting hard, which makes whites frown. It makes them feel they have the need to call cops and make us bleed.
If the modern black is not a crook, that's racist junk in any book. For me, I wouldn't hurt a fly. For we're the prey, that's no lie. We're tased, we're shot, and even slain when we're unarmed and cause no pain. There's a war out there against us blacks to push us down onto our backs. But we'll stand tall and persevere and never ever live in fear.
Your message is really way off base. You see a war, which is based on race. But you are wrong, and I'll tell you why. It's the marketplace where the problems lie.
You're wrong, my bro. It's race, real clear. Your marketplace just a gear to buy us off and make us feel that being black is no big deal.
We had 8 years to make things right and go from dark into the light. But things occurred that made our dreams a murky mix of mud and steam.
I say to you, my learned bro, that now you sound like a foolish schmuck. The system that you now revive is the exact same one that made you smile. It made you rich beyond all need. You played a game that made you free.
And yet today, just look at me, the system kicked me on my knee. It kicked me hard till I was down, then treated me like a silly clown.
Hey, you screwed up. You were not cool. You were treated just like a fool. And this despised your big success, which should have made you feel regress, but instead made you get all wound up and act just like a malicious pup.
What do you want for me to say? I made mistakes and had to pay. But with you guys, all things are cool. I can be myself, both champ and fool.
I second that, my good fine bro. We are black men, and here can crow. The party is about to end. We will part, each one a friend. And to the throng who watched us talk and seemed to care and did not balk, you all are urged to come again to our place where men are men. And share with us a jug of gin and shoot some dice and maybe win. It would be nice, you would agree? So come on by and let's party.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. The stage is empty. Will enters and speaks to the audience.
I bet you're wondering what became of us. Well, maybe I ought to let them tell you themselves.
I'm making something of a comeback on the golf course. Almost won a major tournament. It feels good to be back. Also, I have a fine lady in my life. No, she's not my ex-wife, and yes, she's white. If that's a problem for you, then so be it. Right now, I think I'm back on the right track. If I'm careful and don't repeat certain mistakes, then things should work out for me just fine. Maybe I'll win another major.
Nothing special to report. It's hanging in there, taking things day to day. People, mostly old guys who knew of me when I was playing, still stop me on the street and say hello. It's nice to be remembered. Sometimes I think about becoming a coach, but I'm a doer, not a teacher. What I know about basketball, I can't teach. As for my life in general, I've done enough talking. If you're interested in learning more about me, go buy my book.
I had some legal issues that landed me in jail. All I wanted to do was recover some stuff from some guy that stole from me and then wanted to sell. Instead, the judge threw the book at me. All politics. The system is still out to get me. Think what you want about me. All I know is that I'm no murderer. And if anyone thinks otherwise, just don't say it to my face. I don't need the aggravation. And if you see me in the street, just keep walking. I have nothing to say to you or anyone else who thinks I'm a liar. Just leave me alone.
I mean, I'm just glad to be alive. Sometimes I watch old movies of myself when I'm playing. Wow. And it's hard to believe that the guy in those movies is me. I had great moves, and more importantly, I played on a great team. If I was playing today, we make millions. These players today, they don't know how good they have it, especially the black players. We must have rocked the boat. Let them do what they want. Too old to argue with them. They have to learn the truth the hard way.
Recently, I've had problems with my memory and speech. It happens when you make a living in the ring. doctors think my symptoms are caused by some kind of disease of the brain. But I know the truth. When your head is used as a punching bag, your brain gets rattled. Still, I have no regrets. I was a black man who refused to know wonder. The country that once vilified me now lavished me with honors. That's vindication enough.
Kali is right. Boxing can be hard on your brain. Luckily, I still got all my marbles upstairs. At least I think I do. I guess I was born with an exceptionally hard head. However, that didn't keep me out of prison. After I served my time, I had to do something with all that pent-up rage. I did not want to become just another black man consumed by anger. So I hired a public relations guy who happened to be white. He helped me reinvent myself. Today, I'm considered a personality. Can you believe that? Me? A personality? A guy who made his living by beating people with his fists? I still feel twinges of rage, but now I show it with a smile. I've even appeared in a few movies. In this country, anything is possible, even for an angry black man, if he maintains self-control and projects a friendly image.
Thank you, gentlemen. As for me, I was convicted of sexually assaulting a lady who I had invited into my home. For me, the quiet evening of socializing turned into a legal nightmare. No surprise there. I'm not the first black man who ever suffered a miscarriage of justice. Just because I popped a couple of pills, she happened to be white, doesn't mean I was up to no good. I have nothing but the utmost respect for whether black or white. I instructed my attorneys to file an appeal. Hopefully my conviction will be reversed and my liberty restored. If not, I may die in prison. Whatever the outcome, my reputation is ruined, and that causes me immense sadness because as a public figure who became a role model for aspiring blacks, I feel I let a lot of people down. There you have it. 7 black men, rich, famous. By opening ourselves up to you, we brought you into our lives. In his book, Democracy in America, Alexis de Tocqueville wrote, quote, "The hope of liberty had always been allowed to the slave to cheer the hardships of his condition. But the Americans of the South were well aware that emancipation cannot be dangerous, when the freed man can never be assimilated to his former master." Close quote. I wonder if Mr. de Tocqueville ever spoke to any slaves or ex-slaves to get their side of the story. How does he know what we hope for or how they cope with their so-called condition, one that was imposed on them by force? Such presumptuousness. How did the French cheer the hardships of their condition while the Germans were raping France? How did the Russians cheer the hardships of their condition while the Bolsheviks were oppressing Russia? Dumb question. Oppression is nothing to cheer about. At least the French got their country back, and the Russians recovered their property rights. What compensation did the ex-slaves get? Nothing. We became sharecroppers. The Jews got compensation. The Japanese got compensation. So the blacks should get compensation too. I know what you're thinking. I'm just another conniving black man playing the race card to try to get a handout. Well, you're wrong. As slaves, we were considered valuable property, so much so that our masters fought a war, even declared themselves an independent country to keep us enslaved. They knew a good thing when they had it, and they weren't about to give it up without a fight. Then, while the war was going on, we were so degraded, the mentality of the slaves so deeply and firmly embedded in our minds, our sense of self-worth so corroded by centuries of negative conditioning, that while our masters and overseers were getting their butts whooped by the North, we couldn't even free ourselves without help. We had to wait for Mr. Lincoln to do it for us. Then our ex-masters left us destitute. We made them rich. In return, they reduced us to serfs and landless refugees. I say unfair. I know. White people had it rough too. Who could not but feel compassion for the tens of thousands of families, including President Lincoln's family, and indeed even our ex-master's family, who lost a loved one during that awful conflagration. The slaves had it rougher because they were shunned. The divisive effects of our slave past still haunts us today. On September 5th, 2018, United States Senator Cory Booker stated, quote, "Children in this country still encounter a different experience of America based upon the color of their skin and not the content of their character." Close quote. However, I digress. Please forgive me. Maybe Mr. de Tocqueville's comments reflected on his own biases. Maybe deep down he wanted the United States to fail. Now, my purpose is not to take issue with Mr. de Tocqueville or his book, or incite one race against the other, or make a case for reparations. That's for politicians to do, and I'm not running for office. I have enough issues to deal with. Instead, I leave it up to you to decide whether de Tocqueville was right, that America is doomed to be forever divided into two groups, one black and one white. Or that America, in the inimitable words of the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States, is in fact one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all. For the sake of the country. I hope so. Let history be the judge.
Good question. I'll wait the answer.
Your comments provide me food for thought.
Powerful words. I wish I had said it.
You should have been my lawyer.
Right on, bro. You should have been the judge on my trial.
Okay, guys, our business here is finished. Now to pack up and leave. I hope you found our discussion entertaining and worthy of your time and attention. Take care and have a good day. Oh, before I forget, one other thing. Don't believe everything you read, watch, or hear in the mass media, especially about me. I'm vilified, demonized, and publicly maligned. But don't forget, I also made a lot of people laugh. Not at me, but with me. For a black man, that's no small accomplishment. Thus, in my own humble way, I bridged the racial gap and made this country a better place. In fact, all of us here did. Knowing that makes me feel good.
That concludes the reading of 7 Black Men. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, okay. Great, one more. Okay.